Well, back in the 90s, all the young girls fell in love with Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, what a cutie he was. And as we celebrate our 35th season, well, we are looking back at that amazing decade on the big screen. E.T. was on the set for all the biggest movies.
That's Keanu, ladies and gentlemen. Keanu Reeves. Beautiful and talented.
This is it, man.
I'm an amateur. Don't tell anyone. I don't know what I'm doing at all.
One wonderful thing about the 90s, those big stars who weren't that big yet, not afraid to let their guard down with us.
This tie, you don't like it? I think it's kind of cool, actually.
Look, we're going to be on Entertainment Tonight.
Tom Hanks and Rob Reiner got their groove on during our Sleepless in Seattle set visit.
E.T.
We're about to knock off a few people upstairs. I'm serious.
Here's a set secret. John Travolta, who's played a hitman in Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction, didn't know a lot about guns.
You did that with your finger.
I know.
You'd like letting Entertainment Tonight film you not knowing what you're doing with the gun.
John did know how to dance, however.
The swing.
Oh, yes. Now we're getting it.
This is like just a space pylon, basically.
One guy who did know his gear was Will Smith in Men in Black.
This is a intergalactic space molecular air dispersing hair dryer /
And cool, Will was already very cool.
I make this look good.
Hi, Entertainment Tonight. I'm Jennifer Lopez.
But here's another set surprise. Jennifer, playing the late pop star in Selena, didn't actually sing in the movie.
I'll be lip syncing all the songs. I'm not a singer, so I'm a dancer. I'd be singing and the mic be over here. You know, I'm like, yeah, oh, the mic, you know? I'm the bus driver.
And Sandra didn't drive the bus. A stunt driver did.
They have a guy sitting on top depending on what the shot is.
Speed was the movie that made Bullock a star.
I just know that I'm working and, you know, the films aren't bombing.
The film that made Jim Carrey a star was Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
This electric emery board. Gotta have one.
Jim's co-star was a relatively unknown Courteney Cox.
Love interest.
But 3 years later, on screen, Courtney was a big star, signing autographs on the set. After all, by then, Friends had been on the air for 2 seasons.
This couldn't be further from Monica.
What do you do in between scenes?
If David Arquette's working, then pretty much you don't have to do anything. You just sit back and watch.
Courtney met David making Scream. In 3 years, they would marry.
She's stunning to look at.
You'll see me fall in about 5 minutes.
Angelina Jolie met her future husband, Johnny Lee Miller, now of Elementary, on the set of their film Hackers. They would marry 2 years later.
We're on a crusade to save the world at the moment.
When we went to the set of There's Something About Mary, Cameron Diaz had already been dating co-star Matt Dillon for 2 years.
With Matt and I, we enjoy each other, and I don't think there's any pressures that I put on him or he puts on me for that sort of, that next step.
Unfortunately, that next step was breaking up, which they did shortly after the film wrapped.
I like this place a lot. Everything's really inexpensive, which I like the most.
It was Mexico City that 21-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio was raving about while shooting the Romeo and Juliet wedding. His co-star Claire Danes was only 16.
Well, he's brilliant. I mean, he's actually amazing at what he does.
As is the case now for Leo, wedding bells back then weren't a big must.
For me to get married now would take a lot. Marriage wouldn't be in even my realm.